Hi, this is Cora Stack here, Dr. Stack. I wanted to continue there on my advocacy about the harmful AI. So I'm one of these people who accept that AI, is not going to go away. So it's a matter of, and I see, I'm going to call it. I mean, this is very sort of. Fundamental, really good AI. We definitely have, there are many advantages of AI, and there's very harmful AI. So I'm looking at the harm and how that can be controlled. And I think a lot of people would say AI has enormous potential, but on the other hand, it has huge potential to harm. But let's look at how that harm actually happens. Who is doing that harm? So my name is Dr. Cora Stack. Today I want to speak about a very serious issue: harmful artificial intelligence, democracy, human rights, and why mathematics is central to the whole discussion. We hear a great deal about AI regulation, AI ethics, and AI governance, but I believe there is a core problem that is still not being faced clearly enough. So I'm on a roll about this, as I am about all other human rights issues. But I believe there is a core problem that is still not being faced clearly enough. We cannot govern, regulate, or control harmful AI unless we understand its mathematical design. AI is not magic. It is not simply a mysterious technological force. I mean, I asked myself this question a few years ago: what is all this AI about? So this is where I am now with my investigations. At its core, where I'm now viewing it is a designed mathematical system. And the important thing is designed, and the question is who's designing it and who's controlling that design and who should be controlling or governing that design. So it is built through mathematics, linear algebra, probability, optimization, constraints, weights, vectors, matrices, thresholds, activation functions, and design rules. They are not just technical details for specialists, they are the machinery through which AI systems classify, rank, predict, recommend, exclude, approve, deny, reward, and punish. This means the design of AI is not neutral. Absolutely. This is what you get when you start digging and you start investigating. Behind every AI system are human choices. Choices are made about the data that's used. We'll call that manipulation, inverted commas. Choices are made about the system is trained to optimize, inverted commas, manipulation possibilities. Choices are made about what constraints are imposed, inverted commas, possible manipulation. Choices are made about what errors are tolerated, human choices, inverted commas, manipulation. Choices are made about what thresholds are set, human choices, inverted commas, possible manipulation. Choices are made about the outcomes are accepted as successful, inverted commas, human choices, possible manipulation. Harmful manipulation otherwise. These choices may look mathematical or technical, but in substance they're human decisions. And this is why AI is now a major issue for democracy, human rights, and governance. And in fairness to Bernie Sanders, he's on Next Day and I talking about this. But I'm not sure he's a mathematician, but he knows the harm already being created. He can identify with the harmful AI because he sees the results of this in America for ordinary people. Absolutely. So I'm taken by, I'm trying to take his lead here and try and move it to try and looking at the mathematics side of it, but and listen to him what he's saying. So because once AI systems enter employment, education, healthcare, policing, finance, welfare, immigration, housing, customer service. I mean, did you ever hear of all these avatars? I mean, how many people waste so much time with these avatars, with the customer service? I mean, it is absolutely, it's very frustrating. I mean, is that what we want from customer service? A huge amount of frustrated customers. Public administrators and law, they are no longer merely technical systems. They become systems of power. This is my point of view here. There's systems of power. They can affect who gets a job. This is absolutely terrible. Who gets an interview, who receives support, who is monitored, who is believed, who is denied a service, who is profiled, who is excluded, who has access to justice, and who is left without any meaningful appeal. This should worry and concern everyone. I mean, it really concerns me. being an empathetic person and being, somebody who, who's interested in what goes on in the world and the well-being of others and society, so, and human rights and everything else, and really in the power of mathematics as well here, what we can do, to help the world, rather than look inwards towards just our own little field, looking outwards towards, what's going on all around us. Because a democracy cannot remain healthy if important decisions affecting people's lives are increasingly made by systems whose mathematical design is hidden, misunderstood, or beyond challenge. Human rights cannot be protected if people are derived dignity, opportunity, services, privacy, or due process by opaque algorithmic systems. Good governance cannot exist where power is exercised through technical systems that elected representatives, regulators, public bodies, courts, and citizens do not properly understand. Let me say that again. Good governance, this is the one I always put on my academia.eu. I always hit the good governance, because this is why good governance cannot, because I'm interested in it, good governance cannot exist where power is exercised through technical systems that elected representatives, and I'm not just talking about governance everywhere, because it's all about accountability. It's not just governance, it's governance and public bodies governance. All this governance is much wider than just, the governance of a we're all governed, we're all institutions, we're all governed. Sometimes it's not democracy, it's all, well, we won't say it's autocracy, or, but this is my point about governance institutions and democracy institutions, and it's very deep, really. Good governance cannot exist where power is exercised through technical systems that elected representatives, regulators, public bodies, courts, and citizens do not properly understand. This is where the mathematical issue becomes absolutely central, in my opinion. At every stage of the AI design process, as I now understand it, I didn't understand it a few years ago, so I started to say, what's all this AI about? Let's have a look. And then, just have another look and another look and another look. So it's as a result of a few years of investigation. So as I say, I'm still a learner in all of this. Certainly not, but I don't meet too many experts in terms of this. To be honest, I don't, because I don't see there's a few people that are thinking the same way as I am. But almost every stage of the AI design process can be shaped, biased, distorted, hidden, or manipulated. That's very scary. Almost every stage, from what I can see, of the AI design process, because I'm very interested in design, as anybody knows with my protective disclosures work, very interested in design. It's a fascinating way to do this. Almost every stage is a fascinating way. The design is a fascinating way in which a process can be shaped, biased, distorted, hidden, or manipulated, as I'm saying about our the protective disclosures legislation. So the data can be incomplete or prejudiced. The weights can amplify certain patterns. That's the weights. They're the parameters in the weight matrix in the system. The optimization object can reward the wrong outcome. The constraints can be weak, badly chosen, or absent. The thresholds can decide who gets opportunity and who is excluded. The outputs can appear neutral while concealing deeply consequential design choices. So when people say we need accountability, we want to ask, accountability for what exactly? Who designed the system? What was it optimized to do? What constraints were imposed? What trade-offs were accepted? Who benefits from the model's decision? That's a huge question. Who benefits? Who is harmed by them? That's a very big question. Who can challenge the result? And who is responsible when things go wrong? These questions cannot be answered properly unless we understand the underlying mathematical structure. This is not a call for everyone to become a mathematician, but it is a call for those designing, regulating, procuring, auditing, and governing AI to have a real subject understanding, or to have within a group of experts that level of excellence in the understanding, not superficial awareness, not glossy language, not slogans, not vague ethics statements, real expertise. Because if AI is built mathematically, then AI accountability must also be built mathematically. And we can already see the harm when systems are deployed without proper accountability. And this is one area which really is annoying a lot of people. It's really upsetting people, and particularly older people, and anyone that has, is busy. As well. One simple example is customer service. Many people now face waste of time, customer service avatars and chat boxes that do not solve the problem. You go around in a loop and a loop and a loop, and you're just ready to put down the phone, and you're looking for, why I don't know what to say. If you want to speak to customer service, go to one, and you can go to everything else after that. Many people now face waste of time, customer service avatars and chatbots that do not solve the problem, do not understand the real issue, and often prevent people from reaching a human being. And then that's all time wasting. This is not innovation when it degrades service. It is not efficiency when it wastes the customer's time. It is not progress when responsibility is hidden behind a screen. These systems can create frustration, delay, confusion, and helplessness. And often what happens is you're cut off. You're in the middle of something, and the whole thing just dies on you. And then you have to go at it again, more time wasting, and then you could end up in a situation where you could be falsely, harmed. You could be harmed because of all this time wasting. It's not accounted for. Did you make the call? Did you cooperate? Did you all of this? It's how is this recorded? This can make it harder for vulnerable people or any to access support. This can shield companies and institutions from direct responsibility. And they can turn genuine human problems into automated loops. This is a small example compared with the wider changes, but it shows the pattern, and I think many people could identify with this. AI can be used to reduce costs while shifting the burden onto the public. So this is what's happening in the workplace as well. More and more of the workplace are saying, why are we doing all this work with AI if AI is supposed to be that, that fantastic? It's the shifting, the burden of responsibility, the burden of administration is shifting more and more on the customer or the frontline worker. It can be used to de-skill workers. It can be used to remove human judgment. This is very important, to remove human judgment. It can be used to deny people explanations. It can be used to make decisions, the pure objective, when they're actually the result of human choices. That's manipulation embedded in mathematical design. The wider risks are enormous. This is now the wonderful and brilliant Mr. Bernie Sanders. Job losses, de-skilling, discrimination, surveillance, loss of privacy, denial of rights, exclusion from services, algorithmic profile, automatic decision making without explanation. Public institutions are becoming dependent on systems they do not understand, and a weakening of democracy itself. But I'd say in areas where, in countries where you do not have democracy in virtuous commerce, there's still huge concern about AI because of human rights issues. And human rights, people in every country around the world are concerned with human rights. This is why I believe we need a much deeper, and they're concerned about their jobs. They may have different systems of government, but they're still perhaps concerned about there's many overlapping issues between all these countries. This is why I believe we need a much deeper public conversation about AI and mathematics. The mathematical design of AI is not separate from democracy. It is now part of democracy. It is not separate exactly from human rights. It is now part of human rights. It's not separate from governance. It is now part of governance. Linear algebra, probability, optimization, constraints, and model design are not optional extras. They are central to accountability. Without understanding them, we will not know where power is located. We will not know where manipulation enters. We will not know where harm is produced, and we will not know how to stop it. And this is very much now, the brunt of Mr. Bernie Sanders, but I would have perhaps more of a mathematical background than he has. But the message is very clear. So I'm trying to take a lead from Bernie Sanders. He's absolutely phenomenal on this in terms of trying to get the world to wake up, inverted commas. The central message is simple: no mathematical understanding and no real AI accountability. No real AI accountability, no safe democracy. So to protect democracy, human rights, and human dignity, we must understand the mathematical design of AI. We must insist that harmful AI is not allowed to hide behind complexity, speed, commercial secrecy, or technical language. If AI systems affect human lives, then they must be explainable, auditable, challengeable, and accountable. And that accountability begins with understanding the mathematics. Thank you.